Good day, happy travelers. Seven Continents Travel Agency here today with a review of our newly taken 7-day Alaska Northbound, the one-way journey, not the round trip, a one-way journey on Celebrity Summit, departing from Vancouver, terminating in Seward / Anchorage. So in this review, we will cover many things. Cruise port logistics, talking about how to work around Vancouver, get to the cruise port, where to stay. We'll talk about the ship. We had 4 rooms booked, so we'll talk about all the rooms. I won my upgrade bid for Celebrity MoveUp, so if you want some information on that, I'll give an overview and a link to the review for that. We'll talk about the food. I had some food expectations. I'll be able to compare it to Carnival and Royal Caribbean. The entertainment, we'll be able to do the same. We had stops in Ketchikan, Sitka, Juno, Hubbards Glacier, and Icy Point Strait or Icy Straight Point, one or the other. So we'll talk about what we did there and the excursions that we did at the ports of call as we did whale watching. These were bucket list items for me. Wanted to see some whales, wanted to see some bears, wanted to see some glaciers. And lastly, when I booked this, I thought, not knowing nothing about Alaska, I thought I was just going to get off, much like I do in any cruise port, and easily transit to the airport. Seward is a little further away from Anchorage than some of the other destinations I've been to, so there was some work to do. So let's hop into the cruise port logistics. So this is Vancouver. I always recommend flying in the day before. We did. The easiest way to get from Vancouver Airport to the city of Vancouver, the cruise terminal is right up here. It's about a 30-minute taxi ride. It was $35 for all of us, including a tip, $35 US for all of us, including a tip, and it held all of our luggage. So that's the way that we did it. You could arrange private transportation. That's what I did for the other traveling members of my group who came up from Seattle. I came from Atlanta. That was $85, including a tip. There's also a train. You can do that as well. But it didn't seem any more complicated to me just to walk out of the airport, hop on a taxi, and they just went right up the road into town, poof. And then where we stayed at the Metropolitan, a Marriott property, and that is right up this road, right about in this area. It's cool because there was a Starbucks. I'm not saying that Starbucks was important to me, but it was. Can you walk from the Metropolitan to the cruise terminal? Yes, I did it in the morning, posted a bunch of videos, took some pictures of all the cruise ships coming in, and it was about a 15-minute walk, very leisurely. A lot of people were walking. Or you could stay at the this is a hotel right here, the Pan America Hotel. You just take the elevator down, you're at the cruise terminal, and then there's another hotel right here where you can just walk across the street to. So in terms of hotels and getting to the cruise port, this seemed to be just to stay and walk. We did take a taxi just because a member of our party needed some mobility concerns addressed, and those were addressed. The taxi cost was, well, with tip, $20. I tipped $20. Otherwise, getting through the cruise terminal, pretty easy, really easy. It might have helped that the Summit holds 2,000 people versus some of the bigger ships that I've been on, like Mardi Gras or Horizon, 4,500, 6,000-ish. So this was nice. This was nice. If you are traveling on Celebrity and this is your first time on a Royal Caribbean Celebrity ship, when you book a room, they do offer you to bid to move up. Balcony rooms for my group were selling at $4,700. Ocean view rooms were under $2,000. So I booked an ocean view room. I bid, what was it? $310 per person, and they charge it for 2 people. If you win your bid, you get charged $700. So for $2,700, I got a balcony room. I'll post more information about it here to the video that I took that explains kind of logistics, how it worked, when it works. But otherwise, we will move on to the room reviews. We had one party in an interior room. The interior room was right here, midship, centrally located. But I would like to add, being midship, forward ship, back ship on this is not a true burden because you can walk front to back maybe 10 minutes if you are hindered by some folks in front of you if there's heavy traffic. Pretty nice ship to move between. This room didn't have anybody below it, and there was nothing really above it, so it was a nice, peaceful room. Here's the layout. I will post a video here if you want the full video tour of the room. I will make a comment that these bathrooms are really nice in that they don't have a curtain. Normally you have to stay in a suite, in my experience, like a junior suite or a suite to get away from the curtain views. This was nice. Here's the ocean view. I did have a member of my party stay in an ocean view room. It comes with a window and like a little nook here. Very similar to the balcony room layout. I know some of the carriers like to make the ocean view rooms look like an inside room so that you kind of stay away from them for the cost savings. But again, for being under $2,000, great view. Here's the video to that if you want to explore more of what the ocean view room looked like for the member of my party. Again, nobody really above or below. The medical facilities were below. It was nice and quiet. We had two members, myself and another party in my group, staying in concierge balcony rooms. These rooms were, we had one here. The odd numbers were on the way up, were facing the ocean or Vancouver Island. And then the other one, the even numbers, port, were facing the inside passage. So I pretty much had a view of the mountains all the way up. And so if you're taking the southbound version of this, and I'm seeing the mountains, try to get the other side. Odd is good for the way south. Even is good for the way north if mountains are important. Otherwise, just like the ocean view layout, the balcony room is just a bigger window with a nice area to sit. I will tell you, normally on Caribbean cruises I get a balcony, but my heat tolerance, being born and raised in Seattle, is not super high. I can probably enjoy maybe an hour or two on the balcony throughout the duration of the cruise. Here, I probably spent maybe 10 to 15 hours on it. It was just a really cool experience. And one note in the bathroom. This tray that you see right here in this picture that comes with the Celebrity website, there's not a tray right there. Well, no, there is a tray. This right here, these 3 bottles are loose in the tray. So you do lose a little bit of space to put shaving items, your own personal body wash, or what have you. Just a quick note. Now, the ocean view and interior rooms, they did have their stuff locked up here and this tray free for stuff. So that's just an observation. Otherwise, the concierge benefits versus a standard balcony room. If everyone had concierge, I bet we would have done the welcome aboard concierge lunch. The balcony, the boarding buffet, as per usual, not unusual. It was busy, it was chaos, and it caused some frustration. I didn't drink the wine. Other members of my family did. They enjoyed it. We had daily delectable delights delivered to the room. We didn't really use them. Did use the binoculars. Didn't need the umbrella somehow. So I don't know. A whole week it never really rained. I did use the key holder. It was kind of nice. Made it bigger in my pocket, so that was nice. Otherwise, everything else, didn't use the shoe shine service. Concierge, we didn't use really any of it. We had anytime dining when I called them to try to make a real reservation for dining for our party. They couldn't help us. So I don't know. I wouldn't necessarily pay more for it, but it just came with my room upgrade. So all's well. Now let me share some ship thoughts here. I do enjoy, this is similar to the Jewel of the Seas that we went on for Christmas. Really like the small, and we talked about the buffet chaos. This picture right here actually is the buffet. My biggest complaint of the buffet is compared to other cruise lines, Carnival, even Royal Caribbean, the sister ship, there will be redundancy in the buffet to cut down on the lines. Well, this is a big square. This is not a rectangle where the front group has access to the same stuff as the folks in the back. If you want the proteins, bacon, for example, you must go back here. Now, there's only one section with bacon, and bacon is right here. Bacon, you might be discovering two things about me. If you've watched my videos, you knew coffee is important, but today you're learning bacon and sausage is very important. So the line for the bacon is right here. The line will go out and about. Now the problem is getting bacon is really quick. They put the butter and the syrup right next to the bacon, which creates a line. Now, my observation is people just don't grab butter and slather it on. No, not on a waffle. These particular patrons, it's necessary that each square gets a little glob in it. So to expertly paste your butter into it cause significant delays, and they don't let people. This is strange. There's normally a little bit more courteous attitude, like, "Hey, come on in and get syrup in front of me while I'm waiting for butter." No, these people are tight. It was strange. Although ironically, right behind the bacon part of the line was a little seldom used, quickly used, inefficiently used kind of a yogurt and cereal bar. I recommended to the gentleman maybe move the condiments behind to let people quickly get what they needed to get and alleviate it, or move the create kind of a mirror image. If you need the proteins at the back, have bacon here and have bacon here. They had some blood pudding, some sort of English breakfast, but they had English breakfast right here. So they had like a smattering of less popular breakfast items scattered about this buffet area. And then they had some bread up here, and then ice cream was up here. And then over here you have fruits, and then another omelet station to mirror this omelet station. It's just kind of bizarre. Even the coffee stations, you had coffee in the middle, and then you had milk. Milk was a little bit over to your right, and then sugar was a little bit over to your left, but not next to each other. So you had to get in line, get coffee, then you had to wait in line to get your sugar, and then wait in line for the milk. I don't know. There was logistics. Enough about the logistics. The ship was pretty much like any other ship. Pool on the top, but it was really cold, so you didn't see a lot of people swimming. If you're traveling with family members who like to swim, the solarium family hours was only between 5 and 7, ironically during dinner. So it wasn't like kid-friendly times to enjoy the pool. Now the hot tubs, they were used, but the thing about being in a hot tub is, yeah, you're hot while you're in there. But what happens when you get out and it's 50 degrees at a 25 degree wind? No, thank you, not for me. Yeah. So anyway, that's some of the thoughts. Let's get into some of the food. The food that we got. If you saw some of my other reviews on Carnival, for example, there was always food to eat with Carnival. Sometimes it wasn't super, remarkable. I'll just say that. My expectations were, I was comparing it to Royal Caribbean, and if you saw my review of Jewel of the Seas, I had high praise for the Royal Caribbean food. Celebrity, my expectation, fair or not, it was supposed to be a higher gear in the MDR. And it wasn't. It was good. It was good food. I would say it was as good. It just seemed like maybe the variety wasn't as much as the Royal Caribbean. I'll do some comparison. But anyway, here's the menu options. Again, what they served, I enjoyed. I enjoyed it. Just somehow these, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It was good. The food was good. I had a broiled salmon. Other folks had the T-bone. Nobody walked away with anything. It's just sometimes it just felt like some of the appetizers were a little redundant. It was fine. It was fine. The food was good. We had memories were made. And here's the day 4 dinner, day 5 dinner, day 6. Feel free to pause, rewind if you really want to do a in-depth review of the item. I had beef Wellington again. It was good. Always enjoy beef Wellington. They added the lobster tail, so we all got lobster tail. And day 7, more food. And it was good. The food was good, and again, just wished that compared to Royal Caribbean, it just felt like maybe there was a few more menu items. The menu just felt, I don't know, just felt bigger. And maybe I feel that way because We were going from Carnival to Royal Caribbean, and we were all really impressed, like super duper impressed. There was a Christmas menu. So anyway, the entertainment on the ship, the food, I can't say enough. The food, it was good. It was good. The entertainment, unlike Jewel of the Seas, their entertainment on the Royal Caribbean was a little sporadic. The Celebrity did a little bit better of a job of kind of mirroring Carnival's entertainment schedule, and I do always commend Carnival for having a consistent experience. For whatever reason, on the Jewel of the Seas, it just either it wasn't we didn't read it the right way, or it was just sporadic. It seemed like a lot of the entertainment happened during our dinner time. I don't know. So the casino. Let's talk about the casino because I do put money in there. Maybe not a lot, but I do like to see if I can get a free room offer. A Royal Caribbean, we got some money off of a room offer. Here we put in $100 on the first day, and I don't know what to say other than these slot machines. They wasted no time. I had this rule where I put in, I don't know, $5 to $10 per machine, and I go to, as soon as it takes it, I try to find another machine, and then if it takes it, that was just unlucky. It was just every machine we went to across the days that we did there, it was just take, and it would give you, if you wagered 75 cents, it gave you 6. Wagered 75 cents, win nothing, nothing, nothing. Here's 12, nothing, nothing. Here's $3. Here's not. It just, we were off the machine. It took the money, which is what the machines do. Don't get me wrong. I'm not expecting to, not everyone can win. It was just over the course of the time, there wasn't much time spent in the casino because they just wanted to take your money and got you off the machine. And a similar experience with other members of the family. Just other people did card games. I'm not much of a card game guy. Which means we had more time for entertainment. The band, hey, it was good. We enjoyed the band performers. The singing performers were good. There were times where maybe the performers were given a song that maybe might have been a little bit out of the range of their ability. But let me say this, they did better than me. So I commend them and I applaud them. Sometimes just the tone, you're like, oh, well, that's a big song. It's a big song for that person. But on the whole, collectively, we enjoyed the performers. The comedian, we did get to see one comedian. My son, who's 13, he likes to see comedians. He thought it was funny. The consistent nighttime acts, again, the timing, we were able to have dinner, go enjoy a show or comedy. There was always something to do, so it was nice. Movies were in the back of the ship, did enjoy that, and we did spend time in the pickleball court. In terms of the 13-year-old being on a ship, he had a great time, did the kids club. Actually seemed to enjoy the kids club more on this ship than on Jewel of the Seas. Now, when we're comparing Carnival to Celebrity, we all have to kind of, Carnival is catered more towards the entertainment. So was it as fun for him as being on a Carnival ship? No. There's no roller coasters, no water slides, and really not the environment for it. We knew that going in. But was fun had? Yes, absolutely. We'll move on. One of our stops was in Ketchikan. We didn't book an excursion here. This actually reminded me of stopping in the Caribbean and how all of this was kind of gift shops. So we just walked, bought gifts. I got t-shirts, we got magnets, we got a pen with gold flakes in it. Not sure how much money is in the gold flakes, but we walked and shopped. Then we went and explored back here. There was a bunch of bald eagles flying around. It was cool, like, oh, hey, a bald eagle. But at the end of the cruise ship, bald eagles were like doves. They're, oh, hey, everyone, look at a bald eagle. Yeah, you seen a bald eagle, you seen a bald eagle. But here it was fresh, and they were trying to get stuff out of the water. So we walked around. Then we found a little trail here where we walked around some more, took some steps up, saw a totem pole. So this is an area where if you didn't have an excursion, or because the excursions end up being, if you book them at the wrong time, whale watching and glaciers, most excursions were $175 to $500, and if you were doing like a helicopter tour, it's $1,000+. So yeah, there's some money spent. This was one where we just said, hey, it seems like there's stuff to do that we don't have to spend money on, although we spent money. Probably spent an excursion amount of money there. But nevertheless, we had a good time here. And then there's a little Ketchikan sign here that you can take a selfie on, and it was a lot of fun. Just be careful. Here there was like a seafood stand, and like a bowl of clam chowder was like $32 on the waterfront. And maybe we went at a bad time. I didn't get a clam chowder, although I did in the port of Seattle. I did enjoy a bowl of Ivers for $4.75. So there you go. The next day was Sitka, so we did the Sea Otters, Raptors, and Bears Oh My tour. We parked right here. It took us up here. Now pay attention here. Sea Otters, Raptors, and Bears. I didn't read the description. There's also a good portion of time, probably a couple hours of whale watching. So that's my mistake for not reading it, but please note that. So we went off on just kind of like a little sightseeing area here, went around, looked at some stuff, and then we ended up out here looking at the sea otters, sea lions. We looked at all sorts of stuff. Matter of fact, I'll kind of show you a closer view of it and some pictures. But we really got a view of the town. One thing I like to call out right here, while the excursion started here, we were dropped off in downtown Sitka to take the cruise ship general transportation back. We were not dropped off back at the cruise ship, which I kind of would have preferred, but for whatever reason, it was not in the cards here. So the first leg, we just went out into this bay here, went around, looked at starfish, looked at the banks. They gave us some narration of the tides and the temperature and the weather. And then they took us out into the sound. So here's what it looks like there. Oh, for this particular ship that we were on, if you had a couple different options. You could sit down, enjoy hot chocolate in the ship, but if you're taking pictures, the windows were moist and full salt. So they weren't super clean. I just thought that might be how it is on all ships. The next day we did another whale watching, and they actually had clean windows. But here's some of the starfish. Here's the cruise ship. So it was nice. And then we spent a lot of time in this area to look at sea otters. Now you can't get close to the sea otters, too close, because they get scared. So I had to zoom in on my iPhone. Not the best pictures, but a lot of people had like 3-meter lenses, so take that for what you will. Stopped by sea lions on a buoy. They were playing King of the Buoy, and this guy right here kept kicking people off, so it was fun to watch. Then the rest of the time on the boat, we saw whales, a lot of whales. So if you're looking to see whales, you do see whales. Then they took us inland to this little jetty here. And it's a multi-purpose jetty. There were a couple boats that we were at a dock, a couple boats were not, so they tendered in. This is how they got there. From the dock right here, we took the bus to the Bear Fortress, and there's a lot of bears. Here's a couple pictures. It took a lot of pictures. I wanted to see bears. There were bears playing on its back with a basketball, and there was bears eating dandelions. I wouldn't necessarily say that they were thrilled to see us. I still, a couple of them looked like, hey, I could get you, buddy, and he certainly could. He looked like he was in good form. So the bears were in their rehabilitation zone, and so it was cool to see them. Then from the Bear Center after that, oh, hey, there is a restroom area here. This is probably the first time, if you didn't use it on the little boat, there is opportunity there. This excursion's 5-6 hours long. There's also a hot dog stand at this place, so it's a chance to grab a quick hot dog, and there you were on your way. The Alaska Raptor Center did not have a hot dog stand, but they did have restrooms if you needed restrooms. So again, we were going through the Sitka area there, and we ended up at the Raptor Center. Inside the Raptor Center, where there are a lot of, again, bald eagles. And this couldn't take the best pictures in there, but they had some other birds scattered about, and it was good. So I'll recommend that. I did post a video here. I did a more thorough review of it, but this is just kind of the high level. Again, we were dropped off in the town, and then they had to get on another bus to take us to the cruise terminal, and they actually had a pretty cool gift shop there. We spent some money. Next up is whale watching in Mendenhall Glacier. We started off in Juneau, got on a bus, and we went out to near Fairhaven, hopped on a boat, and went out into this area to look at whales. And this is the kind of boat that we were on, so it was 2 floors, and the windows were really clean. You could sit up here too, and then a bunch of people were out here just kind of enjoying it. I was in shorts and a t-shirt. These people were bundled up for an Arctic expedition, but I'm from Atlanta, so I was enjoying the 50s and 60s. It's a lot better than the 90s and 100s I was enjoying. Otherwise, we saw more whales and lighthouses, and I'll post the video to that, which includes a more detailed explanation on the Mendenhall Glacier, which is where we were dropped off. I saw a picture of it. In my head-to-heads, I thought we were actually going to be much closer. It turns out that this was as close as we got right here. They took us to a state park, and it was close. It was good. I saw it. I just thought we might have been, here or here, but we weren't. We were back here across the water, got to see little icebergs floating around. There is a little path at the state park that takes to this waterfall. Now, to me, it didn't seem like from there you could see the glacier, but maybe you could. I didn't go over there, so I don't know. Otherwise, afterwards, we got back. We enjoyed, there was a little restaurant here, a seafood restaurant, where we enjoyed some fish and chips. And I had clam chowder. It was $11 versus the $30. And we did some shopping. There's a jellyfish donut right here on this road, Franklin Street. Jellyfish donut and a coffee shop. Was not a Starbucks, but it was still a nice coffee. So there you go. Icy Straight Point. Now, we didn't book an excursion here. We were told that there is like a little Skyliner that you can take here, and that was kind of going to be our ride. So we did do the free Skyliner, which took us over a walking path. In hindsight, I wish we would have done whale watching here and spent more time at the Glacier in Juno. But family did go into town. They enjoyed the shopping more or less. Well, they enjoyed it, but they said, hey, we got divided. They said, hey, don't go. So I recommend an excursion here. We're just take it easy, sleep in. I don't know. Icy Straight, it wasn't necessarily my favorite. Excursions were pretty expensive. They wanted $400 a person for a Jeep excursion, but maybe because that was the day of. I don't know. I really don't know. It's vexing. There was a zip rider thing up here, but it was $200 for one zip. I don't know. It was a strange place. And then the last full day on the water, they took us up to Hubbards Glacier. So they took us, the boat comes in through the bay, and then as close as it can get, there's a bunch of chunks of ice that the captain, rightfully so, tried to avoid. So went up there, saw another glacier. Much cooler up here, by the way. I was still in shorts and a t-shirt. Everyone else was rightfully so in their Arctic gear. But, it was cool. I was appreciating it. It was fine. It was fine. But great views. This is early. You'll start getting calls from the ship into your room. They're like, hey, look at the glacier. Here's some history. This has taken thousands of years. Some people, who sleep in might not appreciate that. Otherwise, here's more pictures of the scenery. Fantastic. These pictures definitely don't do it justice. I think they're good pictures. But seeing it in person, kind of feeling the air, just oh man, it was good. It was a good time. And then lastly, with disembarkment, unlike any other disembarkment I've ever done, this was definitely the easiest. There's no customs line. So our ship parked right here. We got off and we walked through this little tunnel here, picked up our luggage, and we waited right here for our transportation. I'll post a link here on who we used privately. Please note that you can't use the ship transportation if your airplane leaves before 3 p.m. At their recommendation. So that's just how long it takes. It was a 2 hour, 45-minute bus ride from Seward to Anchorage. We had private transportation for us 8, and it was 2 hours and 45 minutes. You'll hear that there's 2 seasons in Alaska. There's winter and construction season, and it seemed like there was about 7 different construction projects going on for the road. We didn't really get held up. It was nice. I will say that the Anchorage airport was quite busy, and the line for security, we waited about an hour. You might have to wait more. So, that's really the cruise. Will we do it again? Absolutely. Hope we can get Skagway in there, maybe different, maybe other glaciers Actually, I might want to fly onto a glacier. I want to walk. I don't know why I want to walk on a glacier. I don't necessarily want to drink glacier water. It's not high on my to-do list. But I recommend this one. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me a line. But otherwise, I hope you travel safely